Well, welcome back. So, this episode is going to be a very hard and emotional one for me because I am going to talk about something that is very near and dear to me. And with this episode, I hope you take away a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of let's see, I want you to take away something useful that you can use in your everyday life, because with this topic I feel like everyone should be on the same page, but I think everybody should actually just take a moment and listen to what I have to say, because we all get into this systematic form of going with the flow that we often doesn't take a moment to really see what's valuable in our life, what's working in our life that is part of who we are, not just where we come from. And I am Dax, and I didn't get this way overnight. I grew into who I am now. Dax Justice just didn't form up out of a tree. I came and I blossomed, and I'm like a lotus flower. I come up and I go back in. And each time I come up, I bring pieces of the dirt with me and push it out. And then I come back in, but I never take dirt in with me. So that's what I want you to take from this episode. I want you to come up from the dirt and feel the sun on you, and then go back down clean and just sit and take in the information and come back up and use it. What I want to talk about is living with pain from families, past generations. Everybody has a family. We often say, I did this because of my grandma, and I did this, and we always say, oh, I did this just like my aunt, or I did this just like my mom, and my mom before my mom, and my dad before my dad did it, so I'm going to do it too. So this is what I'm going to say to you. And it might be harsh, might be wrong, it might be anything, but I'm telling you, the buck stops here with you. My thing is, like, it's okay that your auntie did it. It's okay that your cousin did it. It's okay that your grandma did it. It's okay that your mom and your sister and anybody else in the family did it. But is it working for you? That is the question. Like, is it really working for you? They have done it, but what has it done for them? We spend so much time in that hollow place that we forget that we're living in this hell. And the hell that we're creating is our past. And sometimes we spend so much time trying to drag our past with us, and our past keeps saying, oh, this is the way we've done it for the longest time, and that we forget that it is not who we are. Like, it's not working. And I'm saying this because I had to reevaluate myself and know that I brought all this baggage from years of trauma or years of systematic stuff that I have been bringing. Stuff that my families and forefathers and everybody has been doing for years. And I was like, oh yeah, my family done it, so I'll do it the same way. But when are we going to stop trying to do what our families did, or how they did, or how they lived, or how they were, and do something different? Because it's not working. You know, I talked in another episode of how we get in a rut of stuck on doing the same thing that our families have done before, and we bring it into our lives now. So with that said, coming forward to this episode, I'm saying the exact same thing. We have to leave that, you know. We have to try something different. I know we don't want to do the same thing that our families have done before and say, okay, well, we're going to change it up and do something different. Because in the episode before, we was doing the same thing and we was trying to get away from that and do something different. And I'm saying now that you have to do something different because it's not working. And with that said, you know, we spend so much time trying to live in the past that we forget that we're going in the future and we're going forward. We can't go back. We can't live those days. So trying to say, oh, this is how it was or this is how it were, you know, we can't keep going and living like that, because if we're stuck, we're not moving. We're stuck in this one place doing the same thing, and it's not working. We spend so much time on autopilot that we are walking around like zombies, and not zombies in a good way, like a 1959 zombie horror movie, like one of those black and white shows that is moving in slow motions and with the bad makeup and the bad clothing. That's the type of zombies we're talking about, because now we're here at a point, a crossroad, where we got to leave the old and step into the new. And we can't really figure out how to get there because we're so stuck on what were that we forget about what is. We all have a duty to our youth to show them something new. And if they're only seeing what we were, how can they see what we need to be? So now we start needing to shape our mind into being something different, because, you know, we're stepping on hollow ground, and any moment we could fall right through. And it's like no one is actually taking the time to see that we are really living in present life. And, you know, I hear a lot of people saying, well, you know, this is how it's always been in my family. But when are you going to take the time to break the cycle? Because when you still do the same thing that your family was doing and it's not working, you teach your child the same values and cores, and they're doing the same thing that's not working. And then they'll teach it to their children. And then they'll be like, well, why can't we get ahead? Or why can't we do this? Well, it's not because we can't do it. It's because our mind is stuck. It's just like, let me give you an example. So in Africa, when an elephant is first born, what they do is they tie an elephant to a tree. As a young elephant, he's trying to move that trunk and get away from that tree. And as he grows, they take him and move him to a bigger tree and tie him there. He sees the tree gets a little bit bigger. As he gets older, he gets a little bit bigger, not knowing that he's bigger than that tree and he's stronger than that tree and he could take it down at any moment. But as a little youth, he's raised to understand that he cannot move that tree. So he don't even try anymore. By the time he gets out of his adolescence and teens, he don't even try to get away from the tree anymore. He's already thinking in his head that he can't get away. So why even try? So then as an adult, he's sitting there like, okay, well, I'm stuck at this tree and I'm going to be chained to this tree and I'm just going to sit. So that's the same way with us raising our youth. They're going to sit there and they're going to do exactly what we've been doing for the longest time. They're not going to try to do anything different because they're stuck at that tree. And they're like, okay, well, my grandmother, my mom, my sister, my brother, my dad has done all this, and I think I should do this too. So instead of holding them back and saying, okay, well, this is as far as you can go, show them that they can go a little bit further than you. You know, if I always say, if you teach a child to go for the universe, they're at least try to make it to the stars, because they know that they're that closer to getting to the universe. So why not teach our children that, instead of just saying, okay, this is how it's going to be, you know, whatever it is, that is it. No, I want us to start teaching our youth that they can be anything they want to be, because we are behind them. That is what I want us to start doing. You know, we spend so much time walking around like zombies, conforming to the earth, conforming to the world, doing everything the exact same way, you know, that we don't really see that we're actually pillars for our children. You know, we are the ones that's going to raise them up and get them to where they're going. And if we don't push them past what we've been doing, or trying to conform to what we've been doing, we're not going to make it, because our society is just going to be stuck in this rut. You know, we're going to be raising a bunch of kids who don't care about anything but themselves and what their past has done. You know, we can't reach for the past, but we can reach for the future. You know, by having our children turn around, it's like them walking backwards in the future, you know, and they can't see because they're walking backwards. And if they can't see, then how do they know where they're going? Are we leading them? And that's exactly what's happening right now, is we're leading them backwards. And that's sad to me, because, you know, we can't show them the proper way until we have them turn around and face forward and move for the future, to see that there is a universe out there that they can grab. You know, I heard a lot of people say that, you know, the universe is too much. When I do a workshop, they say that the universe is too much. I should tell them to reach for the stars. And I was like, no, because everybody's reaching for the stars. I want them to reach higher than the stars. Let the other people go for the stars, and let them go for the universe. Because the sky's the limit, and the universe is out there, and it's big. It's bigger than the stars. So why limit them? You know, there's no limit on my children. So I'm not limiting your children either. And that is what I would like to see, you know, because in a society now, I would want my youth that's going to be in charge of making decisions for me later, or as I get older, you know, I want them to make the right decisions for us, instead of sitting there saying, oh, well, I don't know, or, well, who cares, you know, because right now as it stands, you have a lot of youth out there that's saying, oh, well, we don't care about the old folks, you know, whatever happens to them is happening to them, you know, we're young and we're free and we're doing this and we're living life, and, you know, but they don't realize that the old folks is the ones who are making a way for them. And that is the sad part, is they really don't see that, you know, everything that they have is piggyback off of the older folks, and they are our future. And if they don't see that now, then they won't see it later, because we are blinding them like horses to not see what is right in front of them. So take a moment. You know, like I said, this was going to be a hard topic, and, you know, but it needed to be said, because I see this all the time. We implement that we want change, but how does that change take place when we spend so much time looking backwards? and teaching our children to walk backwards instead of going forward. And you know, it's like one of those domino effects. You push the domino over and all the dominoes starts to fall. But my thing is it falling for a goal or is it just falling? And that's what we have to really figure out, what is what. Is the dominoes just falling, or are we setting our children up for failure? And that is a hard pill to swallow once we wake up and realize that we might be just setting our kids up for failure when we should just actually set the dominoes up for it to go to a particular goal. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss an episode, and comment below and tell me something about yourself, because I am Dax and you are you.